Recorded live from Orlando, Florida and Nashville, Tennessee, you're listening to The Dapper Danielle Show, starring Ian Wilson, Clarence Kelly. And now, here's your host, the one and only, The Dapper Danielle.
Oh yeah, no, I will. I'll reach over for it.
Okay.
One camera only today.
Check, 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 check. Woo! That was a good clap slate, Clarence.
I had to clap for my phone.
Oh yes, that too.
True.
Since I'm recording audio here.
Ooh.
So you have to hold your
And we're recording on
So I get
ours.
to-
All good.
Yeah, should be. Okay.
All right. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Dapper Danielle Show. We are back for season 2, which we are also back in Nashville for this first episode. We're recording in person, the three of us together, and we're kind of changing it up a little bit. I feel like this for this season, because we do want to acknowledge some things that are happening currently in the Disney news, but with how many long rants we kind of got into over the history stuff.
Do you think we got distracted? Episodes?
Not once.
Not once, not at all. Not certain episodes being over like an hour and 30 minutes long. So we are going to kind of cut most of that, and we are going to get right into the nitty gritty in this season 2. So
Yeah, we're changing the format.
just a little bit. Nothing
we
too
might
crazy.
still do some news episodes, but they will be standalone episodes.
They will.
This podcast format is now moving to strictly content-driven, subject-driven.
A lot of hand motions going on right now if you're
gonna be
listening on the
good.
podcast side.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Strict, very strict.
Very strict. Not distracted at all.
yeah.
No, but I think the idea was just, okay, like we all enjoy talking about the historical aspects of Disney. We enjoy getting into the meat and potatoes of some of these topics as opposed to just only touching on them for 15 minutes because we spent 40 minutes talking about the new food at Epcot. And so the goal is to just stay focused. Let's talk about the thing that we want to talk about. Hopefully that's more insightful for all of you listening. You get to learn some new facts, maybe things you didn't know before, kind of with this new focus. But of course, we're in the Disney news, we're in the Disney world. We're not gonna be able to contain ourselves certain times with certain information. So,
Right.
But the format, just expect it to be more focused on, one topic per episode kind of primarily. And we're also going to try to kind of create them, I guess, sort of like aligned with different parks kind of all together. So this first batch of episodes, probably going to be 3 or 4 episodes, is going to be Animal Kingdom focused. We're going to kind of start out there. We're going to do Animal Kingdom only. So the next episodes following this will be Animal Kingdom focused. And then we're going to move to another park and do 4 episodes there, another park, 4 episodes, so on and so forth.
And
just to kind of keep it even more focused in the theme. We're all talking about Animal Kingdom. We're excited about Animal Kingdom.
Well, it's also because me and you, we're heavily in the weeds in this topic right now too. With, if you did not know, we've kind of alluded to it. We alluded to it at the end of last season, how we're working on a 3rd book, and no, it is not I Love Hollywood Studios or I Love Animal Kingdom. This is all about defunct history and things that were in Walt Disney World that are now gone, and how you can still find little remnants and pieces of it. And Ian and I, during this editing process, even with you, Clarence, too, we've been messaging you, too, and being like, we need to talk about this, and we need to, like, deep dive into more of this information. So we're already having these conversations. We might as well bring the rest of y'all along for the ride, too, and just really dig into it a little bit more, because I do think this is fascinating history. Some of it will probably get cut from the book because some of it's too wordy, and so let's put it into recorded documentation format. And we thought, again, we're going to start with Animal Kingdom because a lot just happened with Animal Kingdom, and a lot has happened in Disney during the time that we have been recording, or during our time that we took a break, right?
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of defunct Disney,
Which
Bob
part?
is defunct.
wow.
That's the good news I want to touch on. We're not really going to do a lot of news, but I do want to. We did talk about before. We need to at least mention that Bob is no more. He's gone. Eradicated. He's not dead, but
You're making it sound like he's gone for good.
I hope so.
No. Well, you know what? I feel like
Michael Eisner is back, baby.
not Eisner, but we have somebody in the theme park world and somebody that is very IP ready and is coming with a fervor, and we're very excited for it. It's Josh D'Amaro.
Eisner 2.0.
Well,
Kind
we'll
of.
see.
More
Kind
so,
of.
probably more so than Iger, which is really
Yes.
interesting. And honestly, I think very cool. I mean, not that he's going to hear this, so, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he does, I'll pay him a compliment of very well positioned, I think, as a Disney leader right now. Because I think Eisner came onto the scene at a time where Disney was figuring things out as far as the experience side of things. And then Iger came into power when Disney was figuring out things around their IP. Josh is really going to come in at a time where he's seen two big Disney leaders go through big developments in both of those realms.
Right.
And seeing how now people want both from Disney. They want Disney to have this huge intellectual property, maintain film rights, and have all this cool stuff on Disney Plus from
A park opening in Dubai. And
Well, yeah, but that's what I was going to say. Then
yeah.
they also want really cool experiences from Disney,
Right.
tangible physical experience. And I think especially in the world of AI, the tangible is going to become way more important. So I don't know. Josh, I feel like is really well positioned to do some just cool things for Disney in the coming years, just because there's not, both of those things have kind of been crossed by two people before him, those two
Right.
big topics. So I don't know. I'm
Well,
excited.
and then the new creative officer, a position that has not existed within the Disney balance, basically, is now, I forget her name, Dana, Dana. She's coming in and she's going to be kind of like the right-hand man of Josh.
Right-hand woman.
Right-hand woman, whatever. But her role is she kind of represents the bridge between Disney and all the new licenses. So she comes from the world of Fox. And when Disney acquired Fox in 2019, she came with that. And she was part of that merger. She is now that crossover between all these different things Disney now has its hand in. And she comes from the television world and the TV world and all the licensed products. So it'll be an interesting mix of the two. And I do think it is what is kind of needed to find balance over how much Disney has its hands currently in. So I think people are pretty hopeful right now. I think they're pretty excited. Any other?
Just like the Sith Lords, once there's three, someone's kind of got to go. So Bob is,
There can only be two.
yeah. And then
Always
now
two.
we have the Master and the Apprentice,
Always
Josh.
And we thought this wasn't going to happen until after D23. This is taking it into effect next month in March.
Thank God.
But I mean, to be fair, it's like, look, Bob should have been out a long time ago. And
He
then,
was
I
going to
mean,
be out a long time
well, that's what
ago.
I'm saying. It's like his
Right.
time at Disney ended, and then they brought in another Bob, and they realized not all Bobs are the same. Let's go back to the first Bob, and then it's kind of just been like, okay, Bob. I don't know if he really is like. I'm sure he's wanted to do it, but I don't know if he really wanted to do it hardcore. And so it's just Bob is the best leader. Let's keep him in there. But then now there's someone else, so they feel like he can take over. It's time, So get on with the show, just like us. If you know what you want to do, let's talk about
We're gonna
it.
we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna do it. Yeah. Any other things you would like to mention about your Bob? Bye Bob.
Bye, Bob. Bye, Bob. Also, the Star Wars lady is gone.
Yes, and we are very happy about the people that are coming in to take her role. And again, it's another dynamic duo kind of thing going on.
I
think that
hated
was-
the Star Wars lady. I
You
don't
didn't
remember
like
her
her?
name. No, she's awful.
I didn't mind her. I thought
Star Wars got worse under her direction.
I liked a lot of the ideas and the IPs that came from her. We got Mandalorian, we got Skeleton Crew, we got a lot of bridging
But
in the Star Wars
We have a
universe.
lot of bad.
we talked about
mean,
this.
there is a balance,
we talked
yeah.
about this with your family. Were the good bright spots about Star Wars just them testing out who could be the future leaders of the Star Wars franchise and giving them more creative direction, and that's why they were good? Or was it actually her decisions that shepherded those things into the light?
That's
because
true.
some of the things that initially came out of the rebooted Star Wars franchise,
Yeah.
Palpatine has returned.
Oh my goodness, who does that YouTube video on when oh my goodness, it's the artist that you follow. You showed me the video of like, how did Palpatine survive? And it's just like him being like, oh, I take little small breaths.
Worthy Kids?
Yes.
The animator?
Shout out to Worthy Kids on YouTube and go watch the episode. It is hilarious. And I think that's canon in the Star Wars universe. 100%. It's too good. We'll have to put the link down below in the description.
I'll throw it in the show notes.
That'd be so great.
Okay, well, I feel like after our big build-up about staying on topic,
We already got
maybe
distracted.
we should get back to being on topic as we intended to be
Okay,
for this
well,
one.
talking about things that have gone extinct, and Bob is goodbye. Well, so are the dinosaurs now over in Animal Kingdom.
Bob has gone the way of the dino, you could say.
Literally. Yes. they are-
Waka.
Did you say Waka Waka?
I did.
Hashtag also go see the new Muppet special that's currently over on Disney Plus. Go watch it because Danielle wants more
It
Muppets.
felt like a Fozzie Bear
It was-
joke. That's why
it was
I said
definitely
Waka
a Fozzie
Waka.
Bear joke.
I liked it. It was funny.
Anyway, as of February 2nd of 2026, Dinoland is officially no more. At the stroke of midnight, the Disney, well, actually not even stroke of midnight, as soon as the park closed on February 1st, the My Disney Plus updated and it completely blanked out the area. It's all just a grassy patch of where the Tropical Americas section is going to be coming here very, very soon.
A grassy knoll, you could say.
Yeah, kind of.
Wait, I don't get it.
Where JFK got shot. Sorry, I don't know how to.
Why is that?
Dinosaurs to JFK!
Grassy plain, and my brain went grassy knoll, and then I was like JFK. And
Oh, Clarence, you're not starting us off on a great foot this season. Anyway.
dead things.
Okay, moving on. Anyway, so
It didn't land. I'm sorry.
It did not land. You notice how it went over Ian and I's head right there.
And I was like, so
like,
random
why?
to pull that out. I was like, why? If you said grassy knoll, I wouldn't even be like, oh, JFK assassination. Like, I would just like grassy knoll. It's just a name for a hill.
The grassy knoll.
Anyway.
Look, I mean, there were two shooters. So.
There were two dinosaurs.
Okay, who is going off on the tangent now? It's not me.
We're really struggling.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Dinosaurs.
Anyway, dinosaur. All of that's gone. But someone that decided, okay, this kind of does go. Joe Rohde over on Instagram. If you did not know, and I made a video about this earlier on all my socials. Joe Rohde, the Imagineer, one of the key designers for Animal Kingdom, for the Mexico Pavilion over in Epcot. That's where he got his start, and a ton of stuff, right?
The dude with the earring.
The dude with the earring, the really big earring right there, Joe Rohde.
Very
Everybody
distinct.
knows him. He kind of spearheaded most of the projects, if not all the projects in Animal Kingdom. And he was kind of the spokesperson, Imagineer for Animal Kingdom. They did so much research, and he has talked about his research and the inspirations on his page now that he's retired. He's retired from Disney.
Is he really?
He is.
I don't think I knew that.
He was actually, so he was retired. He was given the Disney Legends Award in 2024, which shocked it took him that long to be noticed as a Disney legend, like, rude. Anyway, he came back and he was brought on as a third party, like, contract basically with Disney Imagineering, and was brought in to do some recordings and help with finalizing some of the Tropical America stuff. So basically Disney's like, hey, we're about to get into the nitty gritty of destroying the land that you created. Can you come in and tell us what we need to be on the lookout for if we start digging up stuff and start finding stuff? So that's kind of why he was brought back in. So he was seen around Disney World property. Actually, I got to see him with Megan the Magical Millennial, and I think Beastly Appetite was with us. We were there in Epcot, and he's just walking with a posse of Imagineers there in Epcot, which makes sense. Over in where the Wonders of Life Pavilion is, the lower floors is where Imagineering still actively is. And so he was just out there walking about, just hanging out. And we said, hey, Joe. And he said, hey. And then just kept walking. We're like, oh, we said hi to Joe. It was great.
Which kind of makes me think too. I was like, I mean, maybe he's, left Disney on great terms, but also I feel like the way the story unfolds, part of me is like, so did Disney like feel like his salary was getting too high and they didn't want to give him the creative freedom that he wanted. So they said, yeah, it's fine for you to walk. And then it's like 3 years later, it's like, actually, you know things that other people don't know. We need to bring you back and we're going to pay you more now than what we would have paid you just to keep you on this whole time, you know?
I don't know how it works. And because a lot of Imagineering stuff, some of it is just you're brought in for a contract to do one attraction, one land, one area, and then you're out. It is a contract by contract basis. And if you keep getting rehired, unless you go into one of those salaried design positions, which I feel like for a creative can sometimes be more confining sometimes. I would be interested to see how it actually works in the paper side of it. In the legal paper Disney side of things, I would be interested by it.
So for your next post, Joe, if you're listening, we'd love to outline some of that. How that went down.
Well, and it's interesting, on his Instagram, he makes it clear in his bio that these opinions are his own. And he just, not saying that he doesn't care, but he is laying it all out on these posts. He's done, in the first day, he did 3 posts with photos and history and talking about how they were in Bali and they found a dinosaur guy that was sculpting these wood carvings and how they acquired some of them and they bought some of them. And some of it also goes into how Dinoland became what it was. For those that don't know, Animal Kingdom opened up in 1998. It was the last full large-scale park to open in Walt Disney World. And it had very high expectations. We were supposed to have Beastly Kingdom, and it was going to be focused on fantasy animals and animals in the fantasy realm, real world animals from different areas of the world, and then the animals that were extinct or that were no more. And all 3 of these things eventually kind of came to fruition in one way or in another, but it didn't feature classic mythology characters like unicorns and dragons. Instead, we have Na'vi and banshees.
There is a dragon, though, on the front gate.
There is still a dragon on the front gate.
One of the few remnants of the original park plan.
There's still a dragon also in the logo of Animal Kingdom, and there's the unicorn parking lot. She's still there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that one.
Her image is still there right there. So if you ever see a random unicorn and you're like, why? That's why. So there's still references to these things, and there's still the Triceratops head that's on the outside too. So it's
but Dinosaur was like actually implemented into the park.
Right.
The fantasy part was not until Avatar showed up, really.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's interesting to go, when we were doing our research and going back through and seeing what was blue sky concept. So before it became the Tree of Life, it was supposed to be a multi-tiered carousel, which is fascinating. So think of a water skipping ski ride. So like where Dumbo at Walt Disney World kind of sits above the water. So it'd be animals, aqua animals. And then there would be a main carousel tier, which had land animals. And then they would have a Dumbo type attraction sitting on top of that would have birds of flight. And that was a concept. And then they realized, this is great. Building this in the central Orlando with weather conditions would not be great. So they ended up doing a tree with a theater down below. And that's how we got It's Tough to Be a Bug, which is also just fascinating. But that's for another time. We're focusing on Dino Land. And Dino Land...
We're nearly 20 minutes in and we've hardly touched on
Dino Land. Dino Land looked very different in the original concepts. And when they were doing blue sky things, one concept, and Joe actually talks about this a little bit, is they were going to have a second safari because Kilimanjaro Safari was guaranteed. That took up most of the budget. Out of the 500 acres that is Animal Kingdom's blueprint, like 100 acres, if not, well, no, more than 100 acres, was made up by Kilimanjaro Safaris and all of these animal care facilities. And then Disney realized, oh, it's expensive to take care of giant animals like giraffes and elephants, and they eat a lot. Oh, maybe we don't have as much money as we thought we did. So hence why Beastly Kingdom was put on the back burner. And one of the concepts for the other safari was it was going to be a dino safari. And Joe just recently talked about this also. And something that he said is that this was going to be a semi-outdoor attraction experience where guests would be riding in howdahs. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but it's howdahs. It's the thing that you see in India of the like carriage thing sitting on top of elephants, like those little
like the platform. Kind
low
of like,
platform.
Where's the word? I don't see it in your notes.
Oh, it's right up there.
Oh, yeah, I would read that. Howdahs.
Howdahs. And it usually has the canopy over top of it. This one would not have a canopy. And instead, you would be sitting on the back. You wouldn't be on a time rover. No. You were going to be sitting on the back of a Ankylosaurus, which is the flat-looking dinosaur with the ball at the end of its tail. You were going to ride that.
I like that dinosaur.
Isn't that a cool dinosaur?
That's a cool one.
I'm a Triceratops girly personally, but
What's
anyway.
your favorite dinosaur, Ian?
probably like a T-Rex or a Velociraptor.
Wow, he's literally so basic.
That was like so basic, Ian. It's not a Triceratops.
but-
What a basic
Yeah.
dinosaur.
So
man.
cute.
Okay.
Anyway,
You don't like the Ankylosaurus?
I like the Oculosaurus.
So,
only
but-
for riding.
think of like this safari was supposed to be half indoor, half outdoor, and there would be animatronic animated dinosaurs scattered through the forest, and it would be like a giant green themed shade structure to protect them from rain and UV.
Okay.
See, I thought it didn't come to fruition because they couldn't find any dinosaurs to put in it.
No.
I mean, like that would have been challenging. The safari one, you have the animals, but the dinosaur one, it's like, you
Like
put
just
it on
throw
an
a bunch of
application,
alligators in there.
kimono dragons,
Literally.
paint them up a little bit. Yeah. I'm dinosaur with its tongue laying out kind of to the side.
Dinosaur.
Anyway, but this was supposed to be a slower, calmer, more safari-like experience, except for the part where a Utah raptors, yeah, it's literally spelled Utah raptors, basically, attacked you. And they were a form of raptor. It wasn't the Carnotaurus, which we did see eventually. And Joe Rohde said, thank God we did not end up building this because I think it would have ended up extremely complicated and fraught with operational difficulties.
Which been down half the time.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Could like Dinosaur kept going down because of hydraulics and hydraulic fuel everywhere. So could you imagine the dinosaurs? Like
I
and
just
they-
feel like you'd be watching, you like, I don't know, I can't really, for the people listening, you're not going to see this, but like, I feel like first week the ride opens, the dinosaurs would be like stepping as you're like riding them, really nice and fluid. And then by like the third week, you just have these like limp dinosaurs with like legs just kind of like gliding along the track, like barely moving. They wouldn't keep the animatronics,
No.
maintained or anything. So
Well, and we
yeah.
saw, there was proof of this. We saw this. It did actually come to fruition, and it was the iguanodon. The iguanodon that made it into the Discovery riverboats. There was a animatronic dinosaur. He would have had, the theming was he escaped from the Dino Institute, the one that you found in the attraction, was there playing in the water, and there's videos of him from the first year of operation that he was like splashing in the water, and he was so impressive. And then
Year
there's
two, static,
little like, baby,
barely moving. Yeah.
like little tiny head movements and not as like fluid as he once was.
Can you do that again? Can you make that noise again? Oh, yeah, that's an iguanodon sound.
That's what iguanodon
All you
sounds
listeners, Danielle does a great iguanodon
Thank you.
impression.
I knew. And this, so when Discovery Riverboats closed, actually the iguanodon was ripped out of there way before the Discovery Riverboats went away, and that
Rest
was
in
within
power.
the first year, 2 years of operation
Yeah.
of that attraction. Didn't even last a full year. And you know where the iguanodon went to, Clarence? I did a video about this. If you did not know, nobody saw it because the algorithm suppressed it. But
Ellen DeGeneres ride.
no,
That's good. That's a good guess.
that would have been a good guess. That would have been closer than where it actually ended up.
Where?
Disneyland Paris.
What?
They
Did they have a dinosaur thing? That would
they
make
shipped
sense.
an iguanodon.
They shipped
to
the carcass of an iguanodon
Oh,
animatronic to freaking Paris. And they stripped it down. It was bare bones. It was a naked animatronic. So you just see like a skeleton of an animatronic dinosaur there. And it was hidden on their backlot tour.
In the FNAF fandom, we call that an endo.
Yeah.
An endoskeleton.
Okay, it's an endoskeleton.
Yeah. FNAF stands for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would only like Five Nights at Freddy's.
The Dapper Danielle Show will be right back after these messages.
So yes, Joe Rohde mentioned how weather would have impacted the ride, wind, debris. He mentioned native birds and bugs, which, yeah, because of the giant white birds that nest over there at Epcot. Could you imagine
Egrets?
those? Yeah, the egrets. Could you imagine those just roosting on top of a T-Rex over there?
It'd be awesome.
I mean, it would be, but
I feel like that's what would have happened in nature. You get like the giant,
like the rhino with the birds.
But
on
then you have the kid being
sitting
like,
on 'em, kinda.
"Mommy, why is the dinosaur not eating the birdie?" I don't know, honey.
I mean, it's the same, like you see birds ride the backs of hippos and rhinos and stuff in Africa. It's like,
Maybe.
I feel like a similar thing would happen where the birds are eating the bugs that are following around the giant dinosaurs and they just ride on the back or something.
I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting.
They wouldn't be nesting on them because
No.
it would be moving. So it would be different in that case. But I
would
don't
be.
think it's as big of a problem as Joe makes it out to be.
I
Yeah, I
think it
feel
would have
like
been a problem.
Part of me, it's funny. So this is just super random, but part of me after like reading this from Joe Rohde, I'm like, Joe, what are you talking about? Like this ride would have been super cool. I wish it had been there. I can't imagine how difficult it would have been to keep it up. You're probably wrong,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like we should have had it. But then the other part of me is like,
The amount
okay,
of
this
money,
is
though.
literally Joe Rohde, the guy who like designs these things. I feel like if he's saying like this would have cost a lot of money to keep up, whatever they were imagining, probably it's better it didn't see the light of the day in some cases. Like, I mean, obviously you have a blank checkbook. It's great to see everything, but I don't know. It's just weird because part of me is like, yeah, what are you talking about? Like, just put some like little spinny silver things on top of the dinosaurs and like scare the birds away, whatever. Like, you'll figure something out. But then it's also like, okay, maybe there were other things even bigger than this that would have cost way more money, you know,
Right.
and this were just kind of like icing on the cake reasons why not to do it.
Well,
But
there was also supposed to be the roller coaster, the excavator,
yes.
which was very impressive. So instead of where Chester and Hester's ended up becoming, there in the opening year of Dinoland and Animal Kingdom from 1998 to 1999 is where it was the Dino Jubilee, meaning that we had nothing. We created a garden with some prehistoric plants, hashtag most Amazon plants in Orlando and in Florida, and we're gonna put a tent.
This is funny. Okay, I was thinking about this when we were at Disney recently because we were watching the show in front of the castle, and it's called like the Fantasy Fair or something.
Yes.
And I was like, I feel like the word Jubilee, Fair, like Disney has these like code words for like, filler. Like we need it to be there now. It's the
Yeah.
Jubilee. You know, like they just have these like code words. I feel like for like we don't really know what to put here, but here's a show.
No,
you know?
they
And,
go.
like,
They have
and
one
Jubilee is
singular
of those-
file cabinet
Yeah.
that has key phrases and terminology. Like, okay, you put a word in the front, and then you do a dash.
Yes.
Jubilee.
Yes.
Dash.
Totally.
Fair.
100%.
Dash. Something else. And so they just go through and they randomly pick out a card.
Okay, great.
Put this word next to that one. Done.
Great,
And
yeah.
they already have it like pre-cleared with legal or something like that.
So as
That's
soon
how
as
they
I
do it.
saw Dino Jubilee, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like there's nothing there. Like if I saw that on a map, I'd be
And
like, this is nothing.
Joe did talk about this too over on Instagram and how basically they went to friends that had random dino collections and said, hey, can we buy your stuff off of you like super cheap? Thanks, man. And that's what they did. They just literally got
Nobody
like,
really likes dinosaurs anymore. No one would do anything with
No.
those. So you should sell them to us for super cheap so we can put them in our Dinosaur Land that we're going to charge money to come people to
Dinosaur
come see.
Jubilee.
Right. But the other cool thing was that they did have a temporary structure, and it was the laboratory where they actually were putting together a half of the fossils for Sue the dinosaur in the Chicago Field Museum. So she was put together right there in that spot. They separated them out. Half of them were with scientists in Chicago. half of them were with scientists in Orlando. So it was the only time where guests for a year could look in through these windows and see an actual dinosaur fossil skeleton being put together and cleaned and prepared before it went back to Chicago, where she made a grand appearance in the year 2000 for the Millennium Celebration.
Yeah.
What kind of dinosaur was she?
Sue is a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yes, like the giant dinosaur Sue.
With the tiny arms.
With the tiny arms, yes. And then a half-scale model ended up being there outside of Dinosaur, there in the queue area. It was part of our partnership with McDonald's. 2 other copies were created of her, and then the actual fossil went to Chicago Field Museum.
Thanks, McDonald's.
That story is so random.
It's so random.
If you ever look it up, it's like museums all want dinosaur fossil that was found after a long legal battle, decided to be sold for millions of dollars. Many museums want it. So corporations like McDonald's and Disney side with museum to help buy fossil. That is like the story. It's like so random.
I
It's
did
like,
a whole video
what?
also on this. It was a short, so I will tag the short over on YouTube, and if you're listening elsewhere, I will tag to the Instagram or the TikTok in the description notes below too, so that way you guys can listen in and see what we're talking about in more detail. And that little video, I did a good job kind of like explaining it in very layman's terms of what kind of happened with all that, right? So that was happening over in the Jubilee section. And that's kind of like, if you look at the concept art, it was supposed to be an extension of the dig site. And the excavator was supposed to be a giant digging location that was closed down.
It's like a former mine site. Kind
former
of,
mine
that
site.
Fossils were discovered in, basically.
But it was like dilapidated, barbed wire, everything else like that. And then the kids from the Dino Institute snuck into the mine site and turned it into their own little side project.
Zip around in your mine car kind of project,
Right.
basically.
And so you could go ride the mine car because they were using it to fund their college activities. So it very interesting what could have come. But they ended up going in a completely different direction to create Chester and Hester's, the sideshow attraction, pre-built rides that could be bought for any other fair or theme park were just dropped in there for Dino-Rama and
Whirl.
Primeval Whirl. We're just kind of dropped into that spot right there.
Which is interesting because after looking at, I think especially like Joe talking about, okay, Chester and Hester's personalities, it's interesting because I think previously I would have said, okay, yeah, that's just kind of like lazy on Disney's part buying like pre-designed coasters. And in some cases it still is and probably was because of budget, but also on brand for something that Chester and Hester would do of, okay, we have a lot of money from selling some land probably to these dino people. We are trying to make more money off dinosaurs. What rides can we buy and just drop into our land, basically? Like, that's what those characters would have done in the land. So it kind of makes sense that they're just like run-of-the-mill rides that you would see at a fairground because they're hustling it off of some random person in the Midwest to put on their property. It's like it fits the characters more, in a way, more so than the ride that Disney designed kind of bespoke for the area. But it's still sad that like the excavator never came. I think that storyline would have been would have helped Dinoland probably stay more relevant for longer if there had been obviously like a primo attraction, of the scale of Big Thunder Mountain or at least like Slinky Dog type.
It was supposed to be similar to Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, that size, that like magnitude, kind of one of those e-ticket attractions, if you will, for the area would have really helped, I think, Dinoland stick around longer. But I feel like, I don't know, just Chester and Hester and the sideshow was just probably not compelling enough of taking up that much footprint in the park. It's like
Do you
Dinosaur.
remember riding Primeval Whirl? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you never got to ride Primeval Whirl, because it was one of the first things that went down, and also the ride itself was very operational, only seasonally there in the last couple years of its operation. It is still running over in Disney's California Adventure. It is now Goofy's Sky School, and it's literally exact same, just different theming.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, that's why I refused to ride it.
They're the same?
They are exactly the same.
I really always liked Primeval Whirl. I thought it was actually always kind of fun, but
I don't have any opinion on it.
You know, no, right.
One of the few things at Disney I don't have a strong opinion about.
Yeah.
I think even if it is an afterthought, like the theming, the corny sideshow theming of Dinoland, I really find very endearing.
Yeah. And it didn't come to fruition until a year plus after the park opened because they ran out of money. So with that in mind, Dinosaur only became what it was, and it didn't become the Dino Safari because they ended up deciding to reuse, basically copy and paste what was being built over in Disneyland for Indiana Jones. And we, like, you have seen every other person talk about it and how it is a copy and paste of the ride track. And Joe confirmed it. He's like, yeah, we didn't have to test it. Somebody else already did it. It was already built because Indiana Jones opened in Disneyland in March of 1995. And the ground broke. So they already did the testing. They already did the planning. These ride vehicles were already being built in 1993.
Wow.
So they made duplicates of them. And when you went into the dinosaur ride, if you looked at the right side as you were entering into the vehicle, there was a abbreviation right there that was the initials of Indiana Jones. Because they literally did just copy and pasted over the exact same ride vehicle and
That's
attraction.
interesting. Which is funny because I say after riding both of them, I feel like Indiana Jones and they feel very different as
do.
attractions. Like there's obviously cosmetic differences, but I just feel like just even like if I was like, I think if you asked me, hey, is the track the same? I'd be like, no, they're probably super different, but it's just all staging, which is very impressive that can happen.
There is one room that is distinctly different, and I actually have it highlighted right here. You're not going to be able to see it very well over on the thing, but right here where this red circle is, in the Indiana Jones version in Disneyland, so you kind of go into a little curve shape, so you go out, you see overlook, you see the bridge over there, and all of a sudden you start to make a left and you go into the mummy chamber over there. They cut the mummy chamber. So they cut out the one left.
It just didn't fit with the dinosaur theme. The mummies, dinosaurs, just was too much.
I don't know why. I think it was actually because in the space, and actually it's almost the exact same footprint, instead of going into a showroom, that's where you first meet the Connotaurus. So instead of you going into that curve, the Connotaurus is right there and starts walking towards you in that same space. So they decided to keep the dinosaur. You kept moving straight. Dinosaur came at you from where you would have been in a left turn.
Which they might have needed the space too for all the like hydraulics and machinery for the dinosaur. Yes, because
he was one of the bigger ones.
So,
what do you call a dinosaur with really good taste?
What?
A connosaurus.
That's where you should have said waka waka.
Waka waka.
waka.
So I thought,
when does this show go extinct?
The Dapper Danielle Show will be right back after these messages.
So yes, they did a lot of big changes. But yes, the ride vehicle was basically the same. That's why I feel like when you go into Dinosaur, all the money was put into the animatronics and not into the show, like creating the temple walls that are over in Indiana Jones. Very, very interesting to look at both of them side by side and to realize, oh, that's going to be the easiest ride changeover imaginable as they're bringing in another Indiana Jones ride. And they're just going to rip out the little bit of dino there and just throw in the Indiana Jones.
Oh, the new one's going to be just Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's
You
not-
didn't know that?
It's
I
a new.
didn't.
Oh.
It's a new
I'm learning
storyline.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So it's going to be Tropical Americas. And so you are going into more of an Inca temple. Ooh. And it's not going to be the same deity that you encounter over in Disneyland. It's actually going to be a snake god. which I know my sister Jacqueline is not looking forward to because she does not like snakes. Why
It's
they
a
have to be
snake
snakes?
god that's a really big snake that has legs and arms, and it's definitely not a reused dinosaur animatronic
goodness, it's probably
at all.
just
It's definitely not. We really promise we didn't just cut off the arms and kind of like paint a little bit. We promise.
No. Wait. What if they just reuse the Celadatoris, which is the long-necked one that burps at you? They're just gonna turn it into a freaking snake and just reuse the same animatronic.
Yeah. He's been the deity the whole time. We just didn't know it.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Thanks a
If that-
lot, Joe.
If that actually comes to fruition, I am going to scream. Are we speaking this into being that that's what's going to happen?
I feel like we should take bets on it.
I would put money on it. I think out of all the animatronics to be reused in that scene,
I think there's going to be a couple that get reused.
I don't know. I'm actually going to say, even though I just spoke it, I'm going to say I think there's not going to be reused because Disney's doing more of the digital stuff now. So I feel like they're going to do some projection thing with partial animatronic, but not a
True.
full animatronic for the
but
snake deity.
or where you originally met the Contourus and he would start walking towards you, a giant snake-like creature on that same sliding piece right there, coming at you, slithering like this, coming over top of the vehicle.
Which, yeah, sorry, this is so random, but isn't there, I don't know. I'd love to know, too, the backstory of, is this story for the Indiana Jones attraction, how does it fit into the Indiana Jones franchise? Because there's a lot of one-off, stories and things that are canon. Like, there's, like, this whole storyline about Indy going to, like, some jungle and meeting like a monkey king stuff that's canon, and it showed up in a couple of like video games and stuff as like, okay, yeah, this is accepted as part of like Indiana Jones franchise. Right. It'll be interesting to know if this is like a one-off or if there is some reference to this somewhere else.
Or does it take place between like one or two of the movies?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just kind of interesting to see how it fits.
Is this older Indy or younger Indy? I don't know.
Is this Crystal Skull Indy?
I don't think it's Crystal Skull.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Is this CGI Harrison Ford?
Oh, no.
This is when he goes swinging through the trees with the monkeys. That wasn't Indy. That was
That was Tarzan in the Great Movie Ride.
yes.
No, but
also in an Indiana Jones movie.
There is,
but it's his sidekick guy.
Yeah, but
it's
is
the
that,
young kid?
Yeah, it's the Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, that's who it is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's Crystal Skull too, though.
Is it Crystal Skull?
Yeah, that's Crystal Skull.
Wow, Crystal Skull was so bad.
Crystal Skull was a big train.
I don't even remember that movie because I block it out of my mind.
Good for you.
Good times. Good times.
One of the fortunate few. Anyway,
so basically, Joe Rohde, after going through talking about all these different changes, he did kind of say, yes, the theming greatly changed because of the change and shift in the storyline into the Dino Institute to explain why you were going into an inside structure, completely changed the theming and the storylining of Restaurantosaurus and into what became Chester and Hester's. And it really built out the land from the need to flip over Indiana Jones and to make it dinosaur related. So they really were like, okay, this is what you got. Create a story around it. And then they literally just built a story around dinosaurs specifically.
Because the Dino Institute, that was there during Countdown to Extinction when it was called that. It was like you're going into the Dino Institute.
You were going into the
that?
Dino Institute.
Okay,
yes. Yeah. And then there were some elements of Countdown to Extinction that were kind of removed and kind of toned down just a little bit. But the story and premise was basically the same.
Kind of decided, let's maybe focus on a less traumatic time period for dinosaurs in general. Like, instead of only referencing the most traumatic event for dinosaurs of all time, let's just talk about dinosaurs, just being dinosaurs.
You don't want to remind them of their trauma.
Yeah. Not that they remember it, but it's fine. Not that we remember it, it's all good.
It's not good to trigger the dinosaurs.
It's not.
Now, okay, random question. Maybe you're going to touch on this.
Yeah.
When did the dinosaur movie integration happen into the ride? Was it part of the building or was it after? Because I don't remember.
It was after.
Because the movie released, I believe, in like 2002 or 2003 or something like that.
It was shortly. it was very quick because
Yeah.
Countdown to Extinction. Hold on, let me. I want to make sure I double check my dates.
I actually did some research on this while Danielle's researching
Oh.
what she wants to talk about. But I was checking out when they released Dinosaur. And interestingly enough, Dinosaur, a lot of the development came because Universal was developing Jurassic Park. And everyone was starting to get excited about dinosaurs again. So Disney was like, let's do Dinosaur. And so it was really crazy just reading about the Dinosaur movie, and like the CGI development was apparently pretty cutting edge for it, even though the movie itself kind of was not so good. But originally it was planned to be a movie with no dialogue at all. And it was just actual dinosaurs doing dinosaur things. And you were just kind of like watching the dinosaurs interact with each other, kind of going around, and stuff. So, but then they did, after they released the Dinosaur movie is when they changed it to being the Iguanodon focus, because...
Well, it was always an iguanodon, because the iguanodon was mentioned in the Discovery water, and he had escaped the Institute. So you were still finding the iguanodon.
Yeah, but
But it became Aladar
like,
specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aladar is his name?
Aladar.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the dinosaur. From
I don't know
Dinosaur.
anything about this movie. All I remember about the Dinosaur movie is McDonald's in some of the Happy Meals had rubber hand puppets.
And we had some of them.
And we had some of them. And maybe I can find a picture to throw up on the screen here. But I remember those, and that's really all I remember of it, and that it's integrated.
And the
ride.
Carnotaurus that was in the original Countdown to Extinction was basically just reutilized for the Dinosaur movie. Mm-hmm. It was kind of just copy and pasted over. So yes, it actually switched the name. So it opened as Countdown to Extinction in April of 1998, when the rest of the park opened, and then was renamed Dinosaur in the year 2000 to promote Disney's animated feature film.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was all set as part of the Dino Institute, and it was basically an excuse to, we have all this dinosaur merch, let's sell it over in the gift shop over here at Dinosaur. Let's do it. And it was there for a hot second. It was the only place to be able to get it. Inside Restaurantosaurus, where the jukebox room was, and they had basically the more classic diner setup. They had one of the McDonald's souvenir cups with the monkey on it, was hidden on a top shelf over there, and was hidden like just secretly there. The tie-in between McDonald's and Dinosaur back in the day in the year 2000. What a great time. He was placed up there permanently, and it was still there up until the last day. So gone to the trash now. Probably did not get saved by any of the
Heartbreaking.
Well, and I guess
Creepy
that's kind of
monkey.
something.
Our kids are going to be talking about like, Dad, did you hear that OpenAI just cleared $1 trillion in the stock market? I'm going to be like, yeah, but you don't remember when my corporate America, McDonald's and Disney, bought a dinosaur.
They literally did. Literally
We
did.
were a more innocent nation before 9/11.
Yeah, the year 2000 was some stuff going
Year
on.
2000, man. What a time. And that's kind of where I wanted to wrap this up with is we want to acknowledge that Dinosaur, it was a time, it was a place, it was Dino Land will live in our hearts as forever, because it was a time. It was definitely a weird era in Disney history too, and how it came to fruition, and now it's closed 28 years later to make way for the Tropical Americas, which I do think fits in better personally with the Animal Kingdom theme. We're going to see the inclusion of Casita.
I think it only makes more sense because Animal Kingdom in its original concept didn't get finished.
Right.
If we had the mythological section, and if they didn't run out of money when building the Dinosaur Land, Dino Land, I think it would have made a lot more sense for the park as a whole. But now, but even then, I don't know that it really does, considering we have Avatar. Like, Dino Land doesn't feel out of place to me.
No.
With Avatar being in Animal Kingdom as well.
I think what's weird, I think what would have made it feel more at home and would have, again, kept it more permanently, I just feel like Disney never made any other, they don't have any other IPs about dinosaurs. I mean, what is their like dinosaur IP other than Dinosaur?
It was literally just
and a
Michael
couple of,
Eisner
like,
being like, okay, Universal's doing something about dinosaurs. We're going to do something about
Seriously,
dinosaurs.
no, that's what it was. And I feel like no one likes the story. I mean, there's diehards that love Dinosaur just because it came out when they were young. That's great. But most people agree that the plot, the dialogue for Dinosaur is not great. And it feels like just kind of a half-hearted effort by Disney to make dinosaurs. But I feel like, okay, yeah, if you had some really great animated film, if they were trying in some way to make other dinosaur-related IPs, you have renewed interest in association of dinosaur and Disney kind of together. But right now, it's just like, yeah, I don't
Also,
really...
shout out to Universal's social media team, because what y'all posted about Dinosaur closing and being like, oh, you're so sad that dinosaurs are gone forever. Psych, they're not where we are. And it was savage and it was beautiful. And I am so happy you did the clap back. And Disney's social media team could never. And I applaud you for that. I will give you that one. That was very impressive. I loved it.
You just got to be careful not to anger Joe Rohde, because... like
Joe Rohde don't care. He's the one that's spilling all the tea everywhere else.
But he chose not to put chickens in Animal Kingdom because they crossed the roadie.
Waka waka.
They did cross the roadie. Really took it home.
Yeah, that's rap.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
All I could think of was that in Dinosaur, right? So when you ended the pterodactyls, you went under the pterodactyl, and you were going into the next room where you finally met the Contours again. There were these little tiny raptors, or the little tiny dinosaurs, that were jumping over top of the road. And they did it in a digital screen version. But before it became digital, you know what they were? They were literally little dinosaurs on a stick. And because you were moving so fast, people thought they were chickens that were flying over top of you, over the cavern. And yeah, so I just think of chicken. They were nicknamed the chickens on a stick, literally.
Animal Kingdom and things on a stick just don't go well. Like the bird on a stick in Everest, and stuff like it just doesn't go well. It seems like so simple, but
yeah, that's true. That's true.
What do you call a dinosaur that's really good at makeup?
What?
A contourus. Waka waka.
And this is why Dinosaur is dead. This is why Dinoland is no more. Because the dad jokes, they just keep coming and they need to be gone. They need to not be here. Anyway.
We should reiterate, though, because we said it at the beginning, but since we're at the end of the episode, closing the chapter on it, Dinosaur is closed February 1st. Has
February
closed
1st.
On February 1st of 2026.
Yes, that was the last day of operation.
Yeah.
I did love, and I don't know if you saw these videos, but the day after, or they had a goodbye for Disneyland, or not Disneyland, for Animal Kingdom cast members. So the Dinoland cast members could come in and they got to ride Dinosaur. They got to have
it was operational. It didn't go down.
Which it actually did go down for right in the middle of the day on the last day of operation.
If you're trying to ride Dinosaur the last week of its operation, you know what I'm talking about.
But
that ride was down a lot.
Dr. Seeker was actually there. So the actor that played Dr. Seeker made an appearance in his lab coat and everything and did a meet and greet with the cast members. They got their own character interaction. They got to have photos with him. He rode Dinosaur again. He got to catch that dino one more time. And it made my heart happy. I was so happy for the cast members and getting to see them witness that in their videos and what they were allowed to post. I was like, I'm so happy for you. Jealous, but also happy for you. And so sorry. Getting emotional there, getting all verklempt over there at the end. But anyway, I am excited to see what comes out of Tropical Americas personally. I know Casita is her main structure is being built. We will see how that goes. I do think that Restaurantosaurus and the dinosaur turning into Indiana Jones is going to be a very quick turnover. Mm-hmm. But right now, Animal Kingdom's looking really sad. It is truly a half-day park now. I can no longer argue for the time being that Animal Kingdom is a full-day park. It is a half-day park.
Yeah.
They still got lots of critters, though.
They still have lots
They
of
have lots
critters.
of
You should go see the critters. And we'll talk a little bit more about the critters and some of how they kind of play into everything. We'll talk a little bit more about Beastly Kingdom in the next episode, so stay tuned. But we did want to go ahead and acknowledge Dino Land since it's currently happening. And Joe Rohde is still posting, like, a lot. And I anticipate he will probably post more by the time our next episode releases. So thank you so much for watching here until the very, very end. Thank you for coming back for another season 2. We do appreciate it as well. Anything else that we really need to talk about? Well,
Gotta shout out some Patreon members.
we do. Shout out again to our top tier Patreon members. Thank you so much. If you did not know, yes, there is the Dapper Danielle Patreon where we're going to be posting more bonus episodes this season. We have a couple of other things that I've been posting over there. A lot of content that has not made it over to Instagram or onto TikTok, and some of my struggles and findings and everything else in between personally has been posted over on Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that family, go check out that content over there. I actually just posted a poll also asking for our paid Patreon family, hey, I'm working on an exclusive print, which I will be sending out to everybody. I want your opinion on what exactly I should be making. So that's going to be over there too. But
We also
shout
do
out.
giveaways over there.
Oh, yes. I just gave away a Go Pin Pro giant extra large piece. We did blind boxes. I have a couple of pieces. I have more pieces from Lug that I'm going to be giving away here this next month, in the month of February, and possibly even some Girls Crew pieces. So we do some pretty good giveaways over there. I'm pretty proud of the cool things that I have gotten my hands on to be able to give to my people. So if you want to join that, check out the Patreon as well. But in the top tier, which is our refresher tier, we now have Pam Hopkins. We have Stephanie has joined the family over there too. And Jessica is over there as well. We also have a couple of new members of Churros and Premium Bar family, which thank you so much for hanging out over there and supporting, basically making this podcast happen, and everything else in between. Basically is because of you guys, and we really, really do appreciate. So more fun things to come as we are getting closer to convention season. We might be including y'all in some fun convention things coming up. We are still getting we thought we were locked in for MegaCon, but they have us really questioning a couple things right now. So
We're still gonna be at MegaCon.
we will.
We
don't know it to a capacity just yet.
Yes, and we don't know totally what panels we're going to be doing yet.
Yes.
But we have been talking with MegaCon's team for the... What were you pointing at?
Ian, tell me.
Oh.
Flashing the camera over here from the belly.
We have been talking to MegaCon's team for the past month or two, and have had quite a few discussions about what it looks like for us at MegaCon this year, which is March 19th through the 21st, I think,
something
or
like
22nd.
22nd, I believe.
I think
it's 4
it's
days.
Yes, you're right.
Thursday to
It's March 19th
Sunday.
through the 22nd. So we will be there.
In some
that's what
capacity.
we're planning on it. It's just as far as what the details of what we're doing while we're there is not set in stone yet. So,
But with that said, I could be making some things and working on some things that if I can't move it over at MegaCon, it might be going exclusively to Patreon and to nobody else. So if you want to be a part of that and to be up to date on what's happening, go follow over on the Patreon too. We, again, thank you so much for making the first month of release for I Love Epcot being such a success. Yes, hanging out right here. Ta-da! Product placement. And we're so happy that this is officially out, and the overall responses have been amazing. I love the response. We talked about this at the book signing too. Everybody's so happy that we didn't make it a Drinking Around the World book, and that we focused on the history and we focused on some really fun facts that people just kind of bypass when they're in Epcot. They don't even think about it. We hit a lot of really fun topics in here. We are, like I said, we are working on the next book. We are running around getting that first 100% submitted this week. No pressure, Danielle. It's fine. And So a lot of cool things are happening over on this. We are working, y'all. We are confirming more book signings. Nothing is officially in the works yet, but make sure you are following along. Again, those notifications are going to be posted first over on Patreon before anybody else does. So if you want those notifications for if we're coming to your state or if we're coming someplace closer to you, make sure you're even signed up on any of the tiers for that one and paying attention to my stories over on Instagram to see what's kind of happening in live time. That's probably the best way to see what's going on.
And we do listen to your
Yes.
votes basically for where we should do our book signings. We read through the comments. We are sympathetic to people that have not had a book signing come to their place. So, as we're planning our schedule, it's like if we see that there's a lot of comments saying, hey, come to this particular,
That's how we got to Chicago.
yeah, metropolitan area. It helps that there's a big airport nearby that we can fly into. We can definitely look into making that happen. No promises, but we definitely take that into account when we're deciding, hey, where should we be going? Where should we be focusing our efforts? Is where do people want us to be? So if you have an opinion, comment,
Yes.
tell us, send us a message, let us know that we need to be in a certain place and that,
Or even as we're getting into this next season, make sure you leave a review, write a comment wherever you're listening to, or maybe you're watching us currently over on the Dapper Danielle YouTube. Hey, YouTube fam. And make sure you leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you here next time for the next episode. All right, until next time, thank you so much again for watching, and night-night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight. We'll see y'all later.